Good morning. My name is April, and I am starting a sort of video diary of my family's experiences with the novel coronavirus or COVID 19. Nobody in my family has it yet, but this is sort of a historic event that we're experiencing right now. It's a good chance my grandkids will study this in school someday, and this way maybe they can look back on these videos to just see what our family's experience was like. Um, so we live in Laurel, Maryland, which is about halfway between Baltimore and DC. My husband works in Baltimore in a big warehouse. I work in DC in an office. It's a big, huge shared office. There's a whole bunch of people all in one room. But there's lots of hand sanitizer and sanitizing wipes and stuff. And it actually kind of smells like a hospital right now because people are being very, very clean, which is good. So we have 6 kids, and 5 of them are school age at 3 different schools. So we've got 1 kid at the high school, 1 at the middle school, and 3 at the elementary school. And then our youngest goes to daycare. It's a small in-home daycare with just a few other kids, but still one more source of possibly spreading the germs. We are very grateful that the disease doesn't seem to be that hard on kids. It's one less thing to worry about, but they can certainly still spread it because kids are just little petri dishes of germs, you know. Anytime a germ goes through school, it comes home. So if I don't pick it up on public transportation riding metro into DC, then probably one of the kids will eventually bring it home from school. We're concerned about it because my husband has asthma. When he gets the flu, he tends to end up with pneumonia. So that's an added risk factor for him, that this could end up being more serious for him than it would be for people who don't have asthma or any other underlying condition. 3 of the kids have asthma also, at varying degrees of severity. I'm not sure how much that increases their risk since the virus overall isn't that hard on kids. I guess we'll find out at some point. I think we're kind of assuming that at some point we'll get it, because that seems to be the prevailing thought, that it's just going to keep spreading. And what we're doing now, you know, as a society is just trying to slow the spread so that our healthcare system doesn't get overwhelmed, like the stuff that we're seeing right now in Italy. So we're doing our part to help with that. Obviously, lots of hand washing and avoiding unnecessary big gatherings of people and stuff like that. I had an event that I was supposed to go to this weekend, a training event for scout leaders, and it was canceled, which is disappointing, but it was the right call. We understand now that these kind of cancellations are going to happen more and more, to try and slow the spread of this virus, and that's just the new normal. Yesterday, you know, the news started changing rapidly with NBA canceling the rest of their season, and the March Madness tournament going to be played with no audience. The president banned travel from Europe for the next 30 days. Just a lot of things happening. So right now, I think there's either 9 or 12 cases in Maryland, and there's some in DC also. And we expect those numbers to rise. There are in our county 2 schools closed today to be completely desanitized due to possible exposure. And other than that, you know, we're going about our business. I have to go to work. It's my husband's day off, so he's going to do stuff today, like look into whether he can get another inhaler and maybe some more of the meds that we use in the nebulizer, just to be prepared in case you know, they have breathing difficulties when they get sick. But otherwise, the kids are at school, and we're mostly kind of playing a waiting game. You know, we know that the numbers are going to rise, and there's going to be more closures and cancellations. So we just don't know, you know, when or what's going to close. You know, it could be somebody at my job is diagnosed, and then we have to shut down for 2 weeks. I don't know. Also, my job is a temporary job, so there could be that they'll shut the whole project down at some point. I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky and that won't happen. And like with the schools, we don't really know whether they'll shut down schools one at a time based on actual exposure, or whether at some point they'll just shut them down countywide or even statewide. We just don't know. It's this weird new world that we're living in. We've seen some of what's happened in other countries, and Italy is shut down. I hope we don't get to that point. I think we're trying to cancel some things now so that we don't have to shut down completely. But we just don't know. So that is where we are at in this sort of unpleasant adventure. I will make these videos, I think, at least once a day, or when there's any significant updates, either within our family or, in the world at large. We'll see what happens today. I believe the NHL is supposed to make some kind of decision about the rest of their season. I think that the DC mayor is supposed to do a press conference. DC has already started canceling some stuff. I read yesterday that they were canceling large events, and they withdrew the permit for the DC Marathon. And I think the Cherry Blossom 10 miler, which is coming up, was supposed to make a decision today as well. That interests me because I used to run races. Not a marathon. I haven't done a marathon. But anyway, it's just something that I noticed in the headlines because I'm interested. Anyway, so that's where we're at. I'm going to go hop on the metro and try not to look suspiciously around at me and wonder if anybody's coughing. And I will hand sanitize as soon as I get off the train and hope for the best. So everybody stay healthy and keep breathing.